air signs. This is your reading for the full moon, lunar eclipse in Scorpio. That is occurring tomorrow. Of course, everything is a continuum. It's been a long kind of backward, forward, Taurian, Scorpionic, nodal business going on for the last while. So it'll be good to move through that. And we are moving through it. Thanks for joining me. Let's get the cards out. We're just doing the element readings. So check out what you've got. You're made up of all the 4 elements, really. Heavily weighted sometimes in certain areas. So air signs. Let's see. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Remember, these are very general. And thank you so much for joining me and participating in comments and liking and all of that. I do appreciate it a lot. So let's see, air signs. We come out with the 3 of discs, a good collaborative desire at the moment, building something new, foundations of sorts. Maybe for a new home, though I wouldn't take it that literally. I never do. We get the 4 of Wands, beautiful, happy place to be, a stable place to be. You know, speaking of Wands being about fire, we've got the 4. It's a very stable number. It's nice. It feels good. We do go through and clarify. If you haven't joined me before, we'll just get these cards out first. Speaking of fire, 10 of Wands. It's the burden that is not going to keep on giving because we release it, right? So, beautiful setup here, air signs, beautiful setup. And then we have what is the beautiful winning card, the 6 of Wands. But let's go through. 3 of discs. We're building, we're creating, we're setting things up. This is probably the strongest shape. This pyramidal, that's actually a word, shape. Moving, works in motion here. Drawing in people. Collaboration. This is the actual doorway that we're moving through in some ways. Air signs into the Libra Arian nodal axis. About people. It's about getting on. It's about negotiation. Something that, generally speaking, air signs are very good at. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. You're very good at this. Now, 4 of Wands, a really good stable situation with the fire element that can be channeled, it can be utilized very effectively. There's a level of control in the 4 of Wands. So you've also got that, air signs. Then we come to the 10 of Wands. It's very fiery here. We reach the end of that suit. We need to understand how we get rid of that burden. Sometimes for air signs, it's really about the seeds, or the core of it lies in the machinations of your own mind. We often slay ourselves with our own mind. It's the mind. It's a tricky beast. We get to understand somewhere in here. You might see when we clarify, where we understand letting go of that burden. The 10 of Wands is a burden. Can't take it, can't carry it anymore. There is an understanding of that and a shedding of it, because we've got the 6 of Wands. This is a victory card. Thoth deck, it's called Victory. It's a winning card. It's achievement. It's that others see your efforts and value you for that. Ideally, you value yourself also. Air signs. So let's go through, clarify. Three of Discs. Three of Discs. This is something that, you know, the idea of releasing that 10 of Wands, it's, for some air signs out there, it's not been anything external that, it's actually, as I said before, it's about the habits of your own mind, is what I feel here. We're looking at the Three of Discs. Beautiful, beautiful card. We get the High Priestess. The guidance that you've had over the last couple of years is about to pay off. If you've found yourself, not that it has to, but if you've found yourself really changing some mental habits, some personal, some self-talk, often negative. You know, I do think you've come to understand the machinations of that and seek a little bit more faith in yourself, in your whatever you want to, whatever way you look at it, like your higher guidance, your intuitive self, your seeking, you know, surrendering to the universe for some guidance. I see that in the High Priestess, and it's brought you to be involved with other people that are very beneficial, are very simpatico, is more to the point with where you're at and what you want to do. Okay, air signs. What you've been dealing with, the self-talk, all of that, we come to this Four of Wands to clarify the Four of Wands, a point of stability. To come to grips with your own habits, self-talk. You had to, and I do believe many have, had to go back into the realms of your own familial history, let's put it that way, because where else does all of this come from? Sure, some of us are born a little bit more sensitive, or whatever it is, you know. We go back into the annals or annuals, whatever, of our own history, of our genetic line, of all of that. And we see it here. Understanding the impacts of it, whether good, whether not so good, whether nothing at all, it just is what it is. 10 of Discs. Genetic line, familial line. We're not all children of our genetic parentage. Familial line, behavioural stuff here. We've understood it. We've understood what we've needed to understand in order to move forward. Again, Six of Wands, Victory. We have this twice. We're victorious just in the nature that we're just in the way that we are, where we are at right now, is as much a victory as anything else, air signs. For some air signs, for air signs. 10 of Wands, please. That burden, obviously. We come out with 2 Queens. we've had to bring those queens forward into the forefront. Try and balance them out, that one's not fighting the other. There's no conflict of interest within yourself, I'm talking about. There's no, that thing of things being disparate, trying to sort of integrate them. This is the burden, has been the burden. We see the Queen of Cups understanding the emotional realms, in fact living within there, and not, extending our capacity to give, but also receive. We also have the Queen of Wands, the fiery queen, the sunflower, full of seeds for a new beginning, for new plant growth, for new growth, full stop. Fiery queen, driven. Combination of these two is a wonderful thing. So we see air signs bringing these queens into the forefront in a really balanced, they're not in the flanks anymore. That's what I'm seeing, like the battle with the self, the battle with the mind, if that's been, because I see that, the queens have come up from the ranks and the flanks. Wow, it's very military-like. Six of Wands. Victory over. We don't need to be victorious over shadow. We just need to understand it and how it presents within ourselves. And we do that shadow work. We're looking at the Six of Wands, of which we have twice in this reading. We have the moon. Air signs, you might feel a large level of relief as we move through and into the Libra Aries nodal, moon nodal doodah, where it is about communication and relationship and getting on. Because I do see that we've got Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairies, Epona's Wild Daughter. We have gone, this is a card of shadow, of going back to integrate our shadow, to understand our shadow. We are moving through an eclipse in a full moon in Scorpio, air signs. Whoops, too many. A few too many, but the one on top, Arval Parrot. We look for signs and signals along our path. The guidance has been sought and will be again, because we are open, as I said earlier, I think surrender to a level of higher guidance, whether you see that as your connection to the divine, to the vine, coming in from elsewhere, however it works for you. It's your connection. You're working with that. It's working for you, with you. Let's get a Kim Cran's Animal Spirit card, just as an animal spirit to take us along. We've got too many. I'm just getting this tinnitus. What is it tonight? Ringing in the ear. So we've got an amalgamation of what I see. We've got far too many, right? But we've got an amalgamation of all the wonderful sort of we've got raccoon. Now, I know raccoons can be like little pests, aren't they? I mean, we don't have them in Aotearoa, but they can be kind of dark and smelly, can't they? Though they are a living creature, of course. But the raccoon, the naughty raccoon, playing tricks, getting up to mischief, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. We have the panther all kind of zuzzed up. We have the dolphin, light-hearted, enjoying all of it. And then we've got the crocodile that just is quite patiently waiting. It's like having all bases covered, air signs. That's the way I see it. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Do go and check out the collective reading. You might get something from it, and all the other elements as well, because you are made up of many. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And we'll see you on the other side. Ka kite, bye.